Greetings YouTube, time for a bargain video. So here we have Hippo Eats Dwarf. This is a field guide to hoaxes and other BS. I thought I would give this a read and then pass it on to my mom, who has been known to fall for that kind of thing. I have this book open because the cover is very, very boring. I bought this used. There was no slipcover. But it's a compilation of the Star Wars New Essential Guide to Characters, New Essential Guide to Weapons and Technology, and New Essential Vehicles and Vessels. And this is from 93 or 95, I think. So it's not the latest iteration of these books. But I got it from my nephews who are, 7 and 4, I think. So yeah, they'll eat this kind of thing up. Then we have 5 issues of Rogue Trooper, which I got for a coworker of mine, as she is a comic fan, and I thought this would be an opportunity for her to get a slice of what British comics were like in the late 80s. And I remember buying this new when they first came out. I have gotten rid of those, but if she doesn't like them, she can pass them on to somebody else. Now we have some DVDs, and quite a few DVDs this time. It's going to be 2 sections with DVDs in them. We have The Reef. I've never heard anything about this, but I picked it up cheap at an antique shop for $1.50. It looked cute. I'll give it a view. We have Survivor Man. I love Les Stroud, and I haven't seen any of his episodes in ages because I don't watch TV anymore. I don't have any of the channels that he's on. So I've got them on DVD if I want to look at them. And I think this one, what's this one got? This one's got, let's see, it's got Desert, Boreal Forest, Swamp, Jungle, Arctic Mountain, Winter Plane Crash, Canyonlands, and Lost at Sea. So that's kind of cool. We have the 20th anniversary edition of Splash. We have the original Superman the movie, never opened, still sealed. And I bought these for the commentary tracks. We have the original Harryhausen Jason and the Argonauts. I am looking forward to that one. The Guns of Navarone. Johnny Be Good. I haven't seen that film, don't think since it was released. Pump Up the Volume. I have fond memories of this on cable, but I haven't seen it in a long time. Wraith, rather. This one I saw, and I'm like, Wraith? And then I look at the cast. Charlie Sheen, Randy Quaid, Sherilyn Fenn, and Nick Cassavetes. And look at the age of these characters, man. They're so young! With music performed by Ozzy Osbourne, Billy Idol, and Robert Palmer. How could you not buy this movie? Then we have Blitz, which wasn't bad. My wife saw me show this to her, and she's like, why don't you just marry him? Because I've got quite a few Jason Statham movies in my collection. Then we have Kablooey, and I bought this cold, but it looked interesting. It's just this weird, strange film about a guy who plays an icon. He plays this figure for some internet company, and his life, and it just looked weird. Then we have Ringers, which I've heard good things about. We have Suicide Kings, which I've never actually seen this. I've heard good things about it, but never seen it. Open Range. Now, I'll freely admit that this one is a bootleg. But I had never seen it, and I want to see it. I like Costner, I like Duvall, I like Annette Bening, so I think it's got a good cast. And if I do like it, I will find a real copy of it. I'd like to see if they have a commentary track somewhere out there. But I've never seen the movie at all, so I want to see that. Then we have Proof, Hugo Weaving and Russell Crowe, and I have a vague memory of catching part of this film once on cable. He plays a blind photographer, so that can be interesting. In the segments I think I remember, we're good. So we'll see how it goes when I actually get to watch the whole thing. On to the next section. Here we have Cool Hand Luke. Final Justice with Joe Don Baker. That cover just looks awesome. I may have to save that artwork. It just makes me smile. To Live and Die in L.A. The Martian, which I have not seen. And Gravity, which I have not seen. Though I heard that the science in Gravity isn't all that great. We have a Le Creuset saucepan. I believe this is a saucepan. It's cast iron, which is coated in enamel. And made in France. It says 18. Don't know what that means. But it's very heavy. My wife's been looking for some of this for years, and I finally stumbled upon some at a thrift shop. I paid $7 for this. From the coloration and the fact that it's got a wooden handle, we think it's from the 70s, because that's kind of a classic 70s color. I have a cheese hat. Yes, not only a cheese hat, but it's a vintage cheese hat from, what's the date in here somewhere? This is 1996 or something like that. But yeah, I have a cheese hat. Then we have Mission Ascent, the Deluxe Edition, which is a game for Catholics to learn about the saints. And it comes with metal miniatures of saints with cards and a board, and you ascend towards heaven. But the game looks like you become heaven. You become Jesus. I'm going to have to do a more in-depth video about that one. We have a gift card holder. We have a little fox, which is a hook. I thought that was very cute. I'll hang that up on my porch. People can hang things from it. We have this, which is, my wife's a big fan of coffee, and it's just a pot designed to look like a coffee cup for plants. And this is a very unusual bell. This is a reproduction of a San Francisco streetcar bell. So it's designed to be mounted on a ceiling, and then this hangs vertically, and then you pull on it, but you have to pull it out really hard. When you're pulling it really hard, this hits the bell and it rings, because you pull it this way and the bell goes that way. And I picked it up at a flea market for $5. The metal alone's worth more than that, but I'm not going to argue. Then we have two hand trimmers. Now these are designed, they're designed for right-handed people, because your thumb hook's here and they fit between your fingers there. And then you go like this, and there you go. And you go like this, and the blades allow you to cut hair. And these have always made me smile, and this cover here goes with this set. Let's cover that up. And then this box goes with this one. It has rubber coating on that one, and the person sold me for $2. And I've always wanted one just because I thought it was cool, but I may sell one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the other one. I like this one more than that one. So we'll see. We have a body pocket, which is a pouch designed to be worn on the forearm, the wrist, or the ankle for storing items. So I might look at that and see how well that works. It might be something useful if you wanted to carry stuff when you're out in the public and you don't want to have to worry about pickpockets. So you put it in a place where they can't see it, like your ankle. And we have a bell here. It says The Revenge. I had to own a Revenge bell. Really, I did. I had to own a Revenge bell. Apparently that's what revenge sounds like. Then we have a wooden mask, which was actually made by someone in Asia, because there's a kanji in the inside, but it just made me smile, and I'll put that on my porch. I think I paid $5 for that at a yard sale. So on to, I think this next section is all going to be tools and such. I lied. This is a cloth painting on cloth, which we have hanging in the bathroom, which is where you have that humming background. But we have a goldfish picture on the opposite wall, and now we have a goldfish picture on this wall. And this was in really nice shape, and it appears to be hand done. And it was $10 at a thrift shop. So I thought that was kind of a cool deal. And now we have matching, and I like the way it reflects in the mirror. I like that. Makes me smile. We have a barbell and weights. My wife was looking for something like this, and we found this at an estate sale for $15. So it's got 8 weights, I think, and the bar with the nuts. And she's been training for a Spartan race, and she wants to use these for some of her in-home exercises. So for $15, and it's in really nice shape. There's no rust on it, no nothing on it. It's nice and clean. And we can always put more weights on it in the future if she so wants them. At the moment, she's only using light weights. But yeah, it was great friggin' deal. And here we come to tools. This is a very beat hand axe, but it's thin. And if I clean it up and I get an edge on it, I think I might be able to turn that into a thrower, and I still need a target. Here we have a Fuller detachable wrench, a number 12 from Sunky. It's vintage, it's not antique, but I've been looking for one for downstairs in the shop that I don't care about what happens to it. It's just a using tool as opposed to something that I put on a wall. It's a true antique. So I picked this up for $4. It's in nice shape. It'll fulfill all my needs. Now this, my wife thinks it's a masher. I think it's a musical instrument that you drag a drumstick across this to get a tone. But in either case, it's a really nice weight to it. And it's a handheld club. It really is. So I find it visually intriguing, and it makes me think of Polynesian-style weapons, regardless. We have 3 handles, which I picked up for $2 at a yard sale. I will probably use at least one of these in some shield build in the future. And the other 2 I'll find some use for. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a gate someday. But I couldn't have picked even one of these up for $2, so I couldn't pass that up. We've got this collection of lag bolts and bolts and things. I actually haven't looked at the entire thing in detail yet, but I picked this up for 50 cents. So that was a good deal. I'm always needing lag bolts or something. We have this IKEA knife, and it's a knife that you hold like this. And I thought I'd give it a try, see if I like that idea or not. It's just a bread knife, but I still think it might be intriguing because I've never used never used a knife that had that kind of a configuration. So maybe IKEA has a good idea. Who knows? We have a Dasco Pro roofing nail puller for getting shingles out. You slide this whole thing underneath a shingle, you hook the nail, then you hammer that right angle section to snap the nail off so that you can then drag the shingle out. So it lets you take a shingle off of a roof. And I picked it up for $10, and it's in really nice shape. So we have shingles, and the possibility is at some point in the future I may need to replace one or 2. So now I have a tool to do that and spend a whole lot less money on it, and to get a good quality one. That was a nice find. Now that is a steel shoehorn, long distance, so you don't have to bend over when you're putting your shoes on. It's the kind of thing that elderly people use. Now, I have a really nice one that I picked up years ago, and when I purchased it, one of my viewers saw it in my video, and they're like, hey, you're going to turn that into a weapon? And I don't want to turn it into a weapon, because I use it, and I like it. This cost me $1. I have no attachment to this one. Let's see what happens. Here we have a machete. The guy who originally purchased this paid $28 for it. I paid $5. And I bought it for a weapons build idea I'm playing with. I want to turn this into a kind of a glaive-like weapon when I'm done. I came with a sheath, and since I don't have a whole lot invested in it, I'm not going to care about having to modify the handle because I'll have to cut this off to get it to work the way I want to. And he definitely got use out of it. He never sharpened it from what I can tell, and he beat the crap out of it. Here we have an antique saw, which has double teeth. So two different tooth profiles, and a nice pistol grip. So it's kind of like a keyhole saw. And I like the look. And I actually have a use for it because all the saws I have are Japanese pull style, and they have a really low kerf. They're like thin kerf. So I need something that's a little thicker for a project coming up, and this is thicker. So this was actually going to be put to use, as well as an attractive tool. Here we have a hammer, which I picked up for 50 cents. I find it aesthetically pleasing. I may have a use for it. I may not. We'll find out. We have a collection of punches here. Well, this is just a bar of steel. Now, I don't know what this guy did to these 2 tubes to bend them, or what they originally were for. I think this was part of another machine, but these are punches. And I picked up this whole lot here for $5. Funny thing is, I found a $5 bill lying on the floor of the thrift store when I bought them. So these cost me nothing. There you go. And then I have a bat. Yes, I know. I don't need another baseball bat. But it was at a thrift shop for $1. And something about this bat spoke to me. And I've done a large two-handed battle axe out of a saw blade, and I'm thinking I want to do a smaller version of that. I've got a hand version, one-handed, and a big version that uses a pickaxe. But this is a smaller baseball bat. It's not even a full-size baseball bat. It's more like just one step above a T-ball. So I thought this would make a nice version to use for that kind of thing. And I now have a saw that should have the same kerf as the blade I want to use. Quite handy, don't you think? So this has been the latest bargain video. I'm so sorry for rambling, but I got some cool tools and some new toys and some really interesting DVDs.